Did you almost slap me?
Do you believe that there's a miracle pill out there?
There's not a pill that's going to help you long-term lose weight and live the best life without diet and exercise.
Do you believe there's a magic weight loss cure out there?
The word, if you're selling something because it's magical, no.
Whenever somebody dies, what's the first thing people say?
What's that smell? You're kind of a soulless bastard. I mean, even for an atheist. This is proselytizing through banging chicks.
Therefore, Jesus is your condom.
And welcome to Atheist Airwaves on Secular FM, your source for a secular perspective on news, religious idiocy, and despicable hilarity. I'm Jay Guerrero.
I'm Christian Ferris.
I'm Amanda Stevens.
And I'm Susan Turpin. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter by searching for Atheist Airwaves. We record live every Tuesday at 7:30 Central, so if you're listening via podcast, we encourage you to join us in the Ustream chat room and catch all the really fun things that don't make it to the recorded version.
We are recording live from the foot of Bay Area Fellowship, who are hosting at least 2 of our cars. So thank you, evangelicals, for
I figured it was the butt.
the butt of Bay Area Fellowship.
Pretty much.
We came in the back. It's
We're in
the
the
butt.
Oh, wow. He came in the butt.
Both of you together. I didn't think evangelicals would be down with that.
Are you kidding?
You'd be
That's
surprised.
how they retain their virginity.
Have I never sent you the fuck me in the ass because I love Jesus video?
No.
Dude, you need to watch that. It's
You
really funny.
scandalized him.
Yeah,
I
it's,
didn't know that was possible.
It's amazing.
Garfunkel and Oates.
You need to watch it.
It's
Okay.
like the holy loophole or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Totally worth it.
I'll edit some of it in right now. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious.
I know, right?
Okay, so the intro audio. Okay, so Dr. Oz, I don't know who the hell that is, but why is he in Congress and why is he saying normal? I mean, everybody knows that. What the fuck?
He peddles pseudoscience garbage, and Congress has had quite enough of that, young man.
They're tired of shaking their finger and their fist at him, so they decided to actually make
Shake
him be
their-
accountable.
No.
Waggle.
No.
No.
Shake their
Okay.
groove thing? I mean, what are they doing?
Try and make him be accountable.
No. What they wanted to do was actually shake their finger at him in person. That's all this hearing is. I gotta say, so there's nothing that this hearing does. They have no power. They have no authority. The FTC has to do it, and even they are kind of hamstrung in terms of what they can do about guys like Dr. Oz who peddle magic miracle cures for all kinds of things.
If you think that taking a pill and not exercising and changing your diet is going to help your life and make you lose weight,
You deserve to die.
You deserve to be eating this stupid fucking pill that's going to make you do some sort of like shit oil or whatever it is that's going to happen because you're a fucking moron.
I feel like we've talked about this before, Jay.
Just a time or two.
I mean, just because you can find someone stupid enough to fall for your garbage does not give you the right to steal from people.
You're not stealing from them.
Yes, you are.
You're not.
You're lying to them and tricking them into giving you their money. I mean, Dr. Oz this week sat in front of Congress and said there is no scientific evidence for anything that I say.
Exactly.
I love what Senator Claire McCaskill said. She said to him, quote, "The scientific community is almost monolithically against you in terms of the efficacy of the 3 products you called miracles."
I loved it.
I hate her, but I'm...
He's just catering to their laziness and making money off of it.
It's not lazy. It's stupid.
And lazy.
Or lack of critical thinking skills.
Yeah, all of the above.
Or lazy. But I don't think you should be able to steal from people just because you can find
If
some
they're
ways to
that
steal.
dumb, who cares?
I say we kill them.
That's
Okay,
Anyway.
that's one extreme.
Don't steal from them. Just murder them. And
I
everything will
thought
be
I was
fine.
the one who was angry today.
Sorry, I decided I'm going to channel my inner Jay today. So
Dear.
everyone who does stupid things, I'm just like, oh, just kill them.
No one wants 2 of them.
No one wants one of them.
Yeah.
I didn't want the first one, so I don't know why we want another one.
Hey, that sounds like my dad.
Oh.
It was a joke, guys. Ha ha.
Here's the other really bad thing about what Dr. Oz does, because he basically is appropriating science and diluting. I mean, we already live in an intellectual society, and we don't need anyone diluting what goes on in terms of public opinion about science. So when Dr. Oz tells you this is a miracle pill and represents it as being scientific, unless he's in front of Congress and can be, can he be in contempt of Congress if he lies to them?
In contempt? I've never heard of that term.
Is he under oath?
I don't know.
If he's under oath, then it's
testifying.
technically perjury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he could face some sort of consequences.
Anyway, I just, he hurts the public perception of science when he goes on there and sells garbage that isn't going to do anyone any good. And I mean,
It's doing him some good.
I don't even,
He's
what?
making money off of it.
Well, the really weird thing is that he claims that he's not getting any kickbacks from any of the companies who are
Bullshit.
right.
There was one that he specifically talked about was the study that was done on women with diabetes for yakin syrup. I think it's what it was called,
Yakin syrup?
Well, it's
You
I'm
eat the
horrible
syrup,
with
it makes you let
pronunciation.
yak
Give me some
Yeah.
before you
yakin
lose
syrup.
weight.
it's this extract of a South American root.
Bulimic in a bottle. Sorry.
Anyway, it's this extract of a South American root that has certain properties in it, like certain fibrous properties in it, that make it harder for the body to digest. So it's being used as a low-calorie sweetener. And the study that he talks about, they've done a study and it's really great for them. There's been one study done on this with a tiny little sample size and extremely flawed results. So he's sitting there trying to say, this stuff is great, and he might actually believe that it's great and say, look, I've got all these studies to back it up, but the studies are all bullcrap.
He doesn't believe it. He said it in front of Congress that that there's no scientific basis for the things that he's peddling. He goes up on his show and says, this is magic, this is a miracle. And in the intro audio, you heard him saying, no such thing as either.
So do you have a problem with like infomercials at 3 o'clock in the morning selling you crap?
If they are misrepresenting their products, yes. So Simon Sam, I don't know if that's how you say it. Simoon Sam?
Yes.
It says it's not practical. Oh, that's not what I just got another one. Misrepresenting is a form of scamming. I'm not talking about legal terms. I'm talking about what should be illegal. And I agree with that. You should not be able to lie to a consumer to obtain their money.
It's like a bait and switch sort of thing, essentially.
Sort of.
Like if somebody does that in the car industry, it's called a lemon, and they,
Yeah,
get
exactly.
shit for it.
Yeah, there are lemon laws. There should be laws against this stuff.
I just think if you're dumb enough to buy a load of crap that big,
you should be killed.
no, but I mean, I have zero sympathy for you if you're that dumb.
I'm not talking about sympathy for these people. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for dumb people. What I'm asking you is to not feel good about criminals, people who are stealing from stupid people. Let's not feel sorry for them. Let's just make sure that people who are lying to consumers in order to get their money are not allowed to do that legally.
How about we just fix the problem of stupid people? And I don't mean by killing them. I mean by educating them. I mean by teaching them critical thinking skills about let's start from the bottom instead of just trying to. Never mind.
Are you sure you don't mean by killing them? Because that's what you usually mean.
Why do you guys think I'm bloodthirsty, as Christian might say?
Because
you are.
Oh dear.
Whatever.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Quickly fetch the leeches. This girl is possessed and must be purged of her ill humors.
Praise the Lord.
Yes! That's right, y'all. It's 2014 and people are still possessed by demons. Doctors in Bolivia diagnosed a girl with misbehavior. That's a diagnosis. Misbehavior.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, she just
I mean,
misbehaves.
what kind of qualifications do you need to dole out that diagnosis? Because I'm going to walk through HEB in about an hour and just start diagnosing little fuckers.
Misbehavior.
And what's the cure?
No, start writing out prescriptions.
You have to go to the Dr. Oz School
NyQuil.
of Medicine.
NyQuil. NyQuil.
Arsenic. I mean,
Oh dear.
Duct tape.
So she was diagnosed with misbehavior, which is a medical diagnosis in Bolivia, apparently. She was considered spoiled, crazy, even devil-possessed.
Of course.
until they actually did some science. A
Heaven
CT
forbid.
scan and a PET scan and an MRI scan.
Witchcraft.
What?
No, you didn't know those are all totally and completely witchcraft?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can be burned to death in Bolivia for that.
Yay!
Let's go to Bolivia.
That's the first time anyone has ever said that. I apologize to our Bolivian listeners.
Yeah, they're probably agreeing with you right now.
So yeah, they did actual science, and then these doctors, Dr. Zuleta at the Advanced Medical Image Center in La Paz, they realized that she actually had a hamartoma, which is a small benign tumor-like growth, pressing on the temporal lobe of her brain and resulting in gelastic seizures, which were basically hysterical laughing fits.
Which, if you've got to have a condition, it seems like laughter would be a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is the best medicine.
How old is this child?
she cures herself.
How old is the kid?
They said, I don't know that they gave
I
her
don't
age.
think
They
they
just
did.
said she was a small child, and then
Okay.
they did brain surgery, and they took
6-year-old.
the tumor out, and now she's totally cool, y'all.
Nifty.
Yeah. So science, it makes you not be possessed by
So
jazz.
in like the turn of the century or whatever, when they would masturbate people who were just laughing all the time with hysteria, would they do the same for children? Is that how they would treat it?
and stunned silence greets Jay's question.
That's
as
very
it should.
that's very, very rare that Christian, Susan, and Amanda are
all just-
silent.
That's just. I mean, I don't know why that's where my head went, but that's where it went.
I wasn't actually listening, so
At
He was
least you would.
masturbating under the table.
I didn't have time before the show. This is one of those things, though, that tells me, just to take it on a complete tangent, that tells you why you should not believe in souls, because the soul provides no activity. I mean, a little tumor in your head can control who you are. You can give someone a
Screwdriver lobotomy?
yes. Wow.
Or
I
a
like that idea.
power drill.
You and me are doing like charades, and we're gonna clean up. We're gonna do like this pool hall charades.
why am I on Jay's team? Fuck. God damn it.
And all the ones Jay does is all balls. Jay's balls. The president's balls.
I've gotten this far knowing you this long without having seen your balls. I guess
Congratulations.
it had to happen sometime.
What are you suggesting?
No.
Time to drop trowel.
Moving
Okay.
on.
Maybe maybe we should just kill this one.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I drove it in that direction. Our next story is actually a follow-up story from a previous episode, and I'm sure the Rain Man can even tell you what episode that was.
Like 2 episodes ago, right?
No,
it was in
I'm sure it's a lot more than
February.
that.
It was
in
episode
February.
number 22 plus 3
That's
Bible armor.
amazing that you.
I looked it up.
I mean, the
course
title
you
only,
did.
the title only came from the story.
The title made it really super easy to find it. So Ricky Wagoner is an Ohio bus driver. He is the man who claimed he was assaulted, stabbed, and shot, but was saved by having the New Testament stop the bullets that he had it in his breast pocket.
Praise the Lord.
However, police are now saying that his wounds are all self-inflicted.
Of course.
He shot himself.
No.
No.
Well, yes, actually he did. So what he did is he stabbed himself in the leg and the arm. He shot himself in the arm. And then he apparently put the New Testament down on the ground, I guess in his shirt, and fired bullets into it on the asphalt. Because they said they did tests on the bullets and ballistics and stuff. And they said, if that Bible would not have stopped a bullet unless there was concrete on the other side of that Bible.
Which there was.
It's a miracle.
This dude is one hell of a masochist. He stabbed himself and then shot himself.
Yes. Although the other thing is that the police described his stab wounds as hesitation wounds. Like he was like, I really don't want to stab myself.
But I really, really want to make it seem like I was just a victim of a hate crime.
They said it in no way
well-
resembled defensive wounds.
What was his motivation?
Give me strength.
Attention?
Attention.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So the other thing is the police noted that this gentleman is 320 pounds. This gentleman is 320 pounds. He claims he fought off 3 men and then ran 300 feet to safety and called 911 totally not winded.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I just got stabbed and shot and killed these guys. Well, I didn't kill them, but I fought these guys and I ran a 300.
300.
300
footer guys.
Oh my.
All right, then.
This is just more evidence that basically religious belief is trapping you in an abusive relationship.
I can totally quit anytime
With
I want
yourself?
to.
I totally love you, Jesus. I'm gonna stab myself to show you how much I love you, man.
So is this guy gonna actually get like? Is he actually gonna be charged with a crime? Because at the moment he's just lost his job.
He hasn't even actually lost his job yet, but the transit company says that he's gonna.
He's
He is crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's like the lady who got cold feet before her wedding, and then she said she got kidnapped and crazy stuff, and she
I
got
remember
charged with like making false statements.
Yeah.
And,
False police report, lying to the
right.
police.
Misuse of resources or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy actually, fired off 5 rounds on the side
Into
of the road.
himself.
Yeah, well, into his Bible, which you're going to hell, buddy. I mean,
That's right.
if there's a God, you're fucked.
If and only if.
Here's the thing that really pisses me off about this, though, is because his assault story was that 3 black men attacked him.
It's always black men.
Right. Oh, always. You're right.
That's what they do apparently.
And he said,
Bolivians.
In Bolivians, yes.
isn't that where Doc Brown got his radioactive stuff?
Perhaps.
No.
Wasn't it the
No.
Bolivians or Libyans? It was Libyans. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
okay.
completely
Completely
different.
different.
Totally
Different
different.
brown people, buddy.
Another place no one wants to go.
Yeah.
We have so many freaking problems in this country, though, and we've got these people who always blame black people. And, half the people who heard the original story, and he said that they called him a polar bear off the polar bear or whatever, making it a race crime. So the FBI was investigating this as a hate crime. And so all these racists are sitting at home with their fears about black people confirmed, and they're never going to hear this follow-up story. They're never going to hear it.
Never. No.
Damn blackies always beating up them big old white dudes. Right? That's what they're thinking?
Basically.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because all black guys do is go to prison and then they get to work out. And then they get out of prison and, then they come and beat up 300-pound white guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
They actually have white punching bags just to
So what does that say about white people punching bags?
New marketing idea. White people punching bags.
Great idea.
I tried to convince, in a previous career, them to put up a punching bag in the office with interchangeable faces. And if all your employees,
Yeah.
they
probably not a good
didn't let
idea.
me do that.
Probably just kill those people.
The world is better off without them anyway.
Right? They're so dumb.
Strychnine and the guacamole.
Strychnine and the guacamole.
Note to self. Potluck at Amanda's place. No.
Hey,
Not going.
We're having a potluck for 4th of July at work.
No.
I think I'm gonna offer to make guacamole.
Hope none of your
Now I have
coworkers
a
listen to
plan.
this show.
No.
Or the FBI.
Just kidding, guys.
Can you get promoted just by
prosecute me.
offing the people above you? Is that something that would really work?
If there's nobody else, who else is gonna do the work?
I don't
As
know.
long as you don't get caught.
All right, I'll look into this.
Anyway,
Where does one get strychnine?
This is the second time the FBI has been listening to me today.
All right.
Only the second.
Let's bring it back home to Texas.
oh, Texas. So everybody will be pleased to know that tithing actually now comes with a money-back guarantee. So Fellowship Church in Grapevine has issued a 90-day challenge. It's part of a series called Tipping Point. And if God doesn't hold true to the promise of his blessings, right?
Sorry.
Apparently, they will return 100% of your tithes.
Plus interest?
Now,
Because I'll invest in that.
no, you're not giving God a loan on interest. So the church says that the series is going to teach Christians what it takes to reach the tipping point in life that God has given us, and how to discover one small change in our lives can cause unbelievable momentum that lasts forever. Now, the one thing that I really, really want to know is who the hell is making the judgment on if God has kept his promises
I'm
and
sure
everything.
they're interpreting them. It's
Right.
like, you said that I would get blessed and I lost my job. And it's like, well, now you have the opportunity to go and get a new and better job. It's God opening another door for you. Yay, God!
You have all of this free time now. You don't have to worry
You should
about it.
volunteer and give us more money.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you that's what I'm going to say. So there's two things I want to say about that. One is that in the video that they posted, they did a little commercial. And in the video, he says that they'll do it no questions asked and that no one will come to your home. So, okay.
Doesn't the mafia say that too?
Why would you come to my home? I don't get that part.
Well, I guess he's saying that they won't
Investigate?
pressure you
They won't
into
follow up.
Right. But at the same time, the other thing is in this commercial, he says, if you think God is a liar, then we'll give you your money back. So that's what they're going to run on you.
They're going to guilt you into it.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
it's going to be one of those things where, the cycle of guilt that Carol Ray was talking about.
Why don't we do these things? We should do stuff
Right?
like this.
Are we going to start accepting tithes?
Yeah, let's do that.
Everyone in the chat room tithe 10% of your income this week.
No, we'll just
And
take
we-
1%.
and
We'll start low.
We guarantee, no, let's do this. Go big or go home, bro.
Okay.
Because we're probably only going to get one shot at this.
20%.
You know what's really weird? I'm going to tangent really badly. My father taught me when I was very young. He's like, I don't know why he taught me this. But he told me about some people at work.
We're sharing looks here while Christian talks about what his dad taught him. Sorry. He taught you what now?
He taught me that, I guess someone at his work got caught stealing something, but he's like, you got caught stealing very, very little. And he's like, if you want to steal something, son, steal a lot and never do it again. They'll never
Only
catch
do
you
it
that
once.
way. No idea what that was about. I'm
Was
probably.
your dad D.B. Cooper?
I don't know.
Worked for
I haven't
Halliburton.
seen him. Right? Do it once and then get the hell out. The other really amazing thing that I learned this week about tithing is that Americans tithe $48 billion a year to churches in this country.
We really need to start a church.
Right? Yeah. I will take just 1% of that and I will be very, very pleased with that.
I mean, look at Bay Area Fellowship's 17 campuses.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they
You have 17?
I made that number.
Oh, okay.
Probably
But
at least
it's a lot.
At least 4 or 5.
Okay.
At least.
I
think
want to
there's
say it's in the double digits. I want to say
Really?
it's like 11. But yeah, they own a lot of property.
that's
A lot.
and they're not taxed on any of it.
No,
Right.
no, millions of dollars.
We
in
should just start
property.
a church, guys.
But you guys get free parking, so
I'm surprisingly okay with this until they see the evolved fish on the back of my car, and then all of a sudden I'm going to have a broken windshield.
I was going to say you guys are probably going to get, because we're talking about it on the air. They probably have agents who are listening to
They
this
have
show
like
right
Google
now.
alerts. They're just like, someone mentioned Bay Area Fellowship.
Let's go follow
Release
this.
the hounds.
Let's go follow this person on Twitter.
So I'm just wondering though, $48 billion every year just to churches, and these are churches who maybe they do good things, but it's an ancillary mission. It's not their primary mission. Their primary mission is to do good by giving you God.
Building more churches.
Can you imagine what we could do with $48 billion to actually help people?
Yeah, that's like way more than welfare and food stamps and Medicaid and all of
We
that.
would fix so much with that money.
Yeah.
And here's the really, 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 really sick thing is churches like this are taking their money from people who can't afford it. All of this cash is coming from poor people. It's not coming from wealthy individuals. If you look at this guy's commercial, he's saying, you can't afford not to do this. You can't outgive God is what he says. That, the more you give, the more God's going to give you back. So there are going to be some stupid people that we should kill. who give this guy a lot of money. They are going to lose their homes because they're going to believe that God is going to take care of them.
So is that why whenever I was going to church and not tithing, I didn't receive any blessings?
That's why your life sucks.
That makes so much sense now.
Can we start a church?
I think Jay wants to start a
Jay is
church.
stuck on this church thing. Father Jay.
He's already
So-
got the outfit.
Apparently, I've been dubbed Father Happy Hands.
You're not the only one. There's a lot of those out there. But let's talk about actually starting a church in Arkansas. A man named Bertram Dahl wanted to start a small church in the garage behind his house, and so he approached the mayor of his town, which is Beebe, Arkansas.
BB.
Beebe? Mm-hmm. In the news, they were calling it Beebe, but okay.
I live very close to it. Yeah, it's BB.
I'm sorry.
I have friends there.
I'm sorry. Any of them pagans? So the mayor of the town of Beebe is Mike Robertson, and Mike Robertson gave them the thumbs up. Yes, you can put a church in your garage in the back of your house, sir. Until he learned that Bertram Dahl is not a Christian. The second he discovered that he wanted to start a pagan church, the go-ahead was quickly revoked. And in fact, the guy hadn't even filed the permits yet, and they sent him a cease and desist. You may not do this letter. And he's like, what the hell? We haven't even done anything yet. Like, they hate them, some pagans in Beebe, Arkansas.
And they used the reasoning of it was the incorrect zoning, like since the place had been zoned for residential purposes, that they would not be allowed to actually put up a place of worship in there. But they didn't realize that there were already shops and places of worship that are all around this guy's house that are already established.
Give an address by chance.
No,
so.
but I have the name of the councilman.
Oh, the alderman guy?
Yes, the alderman. The alderman is Harold Welch, who whenever the television station asked him for comment, said, "That man's God isn't my God."
Yeah. That was the reason he was not going to help him, because he
Yeah.
appealed to the alderman
Sure.
for help in navigating this. So his property is actually zoned R2, which means you can have places of worship and nonprofits in that zoning. And it was so awesome to see the city attorney get confronted with that by the news crew. He had no idea what to say. I mean, his entire story, oh, we're not really Christian supremacists, just completely crumbled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no chance this guy is ever going to win in that area. You think there's a lot of churches here? Go to Central Arkansas. Little towns like this,
Really?
way more.
Well, because
Way more.
is it in Arkansas that one really
Six Flags Over
flippin'-
Jesus?
There we go. Yeah.
Wait, what is that?
Six Flags Over Jesus.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know what the hell that means.
It is a gigantic Pentecostal, I don't know what you call it.
Compound.
Yeah, pretty much. It's huge. You drive,
That's
you drive
what she
by. You drive down I-30 and you're passing it at 70 miles an hour for like 2.5 minutes. It's massive.
Why are you only driving 70 miles an hour?
Well, it's the
Yeah.
speed limit. I'm not actually driving 70 miles an hour.
That was my question. I was confused.
He gets speeding tickets like every week.
I
Come
do
on.
not. I only had one this year. Oh, that's not true.
But it really does just annoy the hell out of me. I mean, this is more of that Christians only club, and I
But they're so oppressed.
oh, I know, right?
Help him being repressed.
Can you imagine the shrieking if the shoe was on the other foot? If there was a pagan alderman who was saying, "I'm sorry, their God is not my God. Who's this Jesus motherfucker?"
Yeah, that whole area is extremely racist. Badly. It was a big news. It was a news story when the largest nearby town, which is like 3-4 miles away, it was a news story when the first black person became working at Walmart. Like it was newsworthy.
Wow.
It's bad.
What does that headline even look like?
Negro working at Walmart, obviously.
or colored man, one or the other.
Afro-American comes to BB, Arkansas. What the hell?
No, this is literally that mentality is why I didn't graduate high school. I got jumped 3 times in 3 days Because
Ooh.
I started going to high
Wait.
school in a white town, and I was brown.
You got jumped?
You got to go there, don't you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you don't want to live in Central Arkansas, guys.
I don't think we wanted to anyway.
All right, so apparently there's an outbreak of measles in Minnesota.
But there was.
Well, and by outbreak,
3 years ago.
oh, was this 3 years ago?
The outbreak was
Talking
3
about it now.
The outbreak was 3 years ago. The study just came out this week.
Yeah.
Why would they? That's a long time.
Well, it takes a long time to do the study, man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Science is hard.
I mean, we're not talking like an outbreak like swine flu or anything. It was just like 21 people.
Right. Well,
when
no.
when
it
you
was
have a very, very small community, though,
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like it was a pandemic.
300 people. 300 people were exposed. 21.
3,000
3,000,
people
sorry.
were
Yeah,
exposed.
But only 21 people contract.
But do you know how few people get measles in a year? 21 is like almost all of.
Right. So there's still hope. Okay. It's really like voting. It only takes one person to make a difference, right? Isn't that what your story is, Christian?
Yes.
Basically, there was a small I don't know if it was a male or a female child, but
Wasn't it?
it went to Kenya or something. I think it was Kenya. Yeah.
Yes.
Kenya, and then came back with the measles because it was unvaccinated, and then it spread through daycare, and it was patient zero.
Right. It didn't.
We don't know what it was, so it's appropriate to call it this time.
Should I look?
It was unvaccinated. It didn't exhibit symptoms until long after it had returned to the United States, and so it infected 3 other kids at the daycare.
It was actually almost immediately. Like the kid, it had the early signs of measles, like the vomiting and the.
But
diarrhea
no
and the
one
nausea.
knows what the fuck measles looks like in this country because nobody gets it because we all vaccinate our children. You stupid.
But you'd figure that, if your child is that young and they are vomiting and have diarrhea and have a fever, you're gonna take them to the doctor. But apparently this whole thing happened in this Somali
Yeah,
community.
it was a Somali community. Yeah.
And they have gotten hit with the anti-vax movement really,
Right.
really hard, which is ridiculous. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, plus is it Somalia or was it another African nation where I know they said that they were having issues in treating children because like there's this belief that you have to keep the child inside quarantined for like a week. And meanwhile, the child is just getting like more dehydrated and sicker and stuff. And then finally, at the end of the week, they're like, "Hey, we're here at the hospital. What do you mean my child's dead?" Yeah.
I like this mentality.
So in 2011, that was a bad year for measles. But this year already, we're in June. This year already, we have over twice the number of infections that we saw in.
Yay, plague!
There's
Not Ebola. It's measles. Fewer than 1% of American children go unvaccinated, and these are children aged up to 35 months. And that wouldn't be a big deal because the herd mentality,
Herd
herd
immunity.
immunity would actually protect them, except for you have these things like these Somali communities where they're all right there together, and that's what causes them to spread these infections so quickly. And once you have a population that's about 80 to 90% unvaccinated, it takes hold very quickly, and it spreads to vaccinated children. So of the children who were infected, 76% were unvaccinated.
Yeah, 16 of 21 were unvaccinated.
Right.
Yeah.
78% of those were unvaccinated because the parents felt that vaccines are unsafe, cause autism, that kind of garbage. So this is the kind of harm that these pseudoscience BS, and we should just let them die, right, Jay?
No, the thought that came into my head, I won't even say out loud.
I'm super curious, so say it and I'll edit it out.
A dead kid's better than a tarred kid?
Okay, I'll edit that out.
Wow.
Chat room, these are one of the many things that you will not hear in the final.
You asked me for it. I said I wasn't going to say it. That's their mentality, right?
I have learned a valuable lesson just now.
well, I
When
believe
Jay censors himself, do not make him censor himself.
that's a road you don't want to go down.
Yeah.
If Jay thinks it's too awful to say, it's probably. So, like I said, 78% of those were those people were unvaccinated because the parents felt that vaccines weren't safe. But I wonder how they feel about freaking measles. And I went to look at what the Centers for Disease Control say about measles, and they say that about 30% of measles cases develop one or more complications, including pneumonia, which is the complication that is most often the cause of death in young children.
It does other stuff too. Encephalitis, permanent hearing loss.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 in 20 children with measles gets pneumonia. 1 child in every 1,000 will develop an encephalitis, which can lead to convulsions or leave your child deaf or with neurodevelopment disorders. Every 1,000 children who get measles, 1 or 2 will die.
Right. It's a fairly low mortality rate, but it still screws you up.
1 is too much from a preventable disease. No one has to have measles if your child can die from not getting vaccinated. Right?
Yeah.
They can't. Nobody can see the hand movements you are making.
Yeah, usually the camera's the other way around.
Yeah.
Regardless, I was waiting for Christian to reiterate.
So let them die. If those 35-month-olds are too stupid to get a vaccination, they should just die.
There was a statistic that I saw that in this community in Minnesota, in 2004, 91% of the children that were sort of at that vaccine age who were old enough for the vaccines but under 35 months or younger, 91% of them had been vaccinated. In 2010, only 54% of them.
That's a big jump.
That's humongous. And this is just more proof of how hard it is to get rid of the bad information that we get, and how you can give people all the right information, but it won't do any good because they're still holding on to, the vaccines give my kids autism, blah, blah.
It's got mercury, and mercury's bad.
Oh, that's horrible for you guys.
Measles is made out of cotton candy and stuff.
Pony farts.
I feel like you're making a cartoon here, guys.
It's a new My Little Pony spinoff.
So if you don't,
Measles is magic.
And show title.
The fact that you know that much about My Little Pony, are you secretly a brony?
I'm outwardly a brony.
You're wearing a freaking Powerpuff Girls shirt. No.
Thank you. Can you see that I enjoy cartoons? I'm
What's
a young
a-
woman.
what's a brownie?
A brony
brony
is a dude
I know a brony.
who's into My Little Pony. Since I have tits and a vagina and identify as a woman, I'm not a brony.
Okay, I heard her say brownie, so I'm like, what?
You're a little old to be a brownie, Stevens.
I can still fit in the uniform. I'm claiming it.
You had boobs that big when you were a brownie?
I was very popular with the Droop leaders.
Well, if you would
All
like to
them
see,
women.
if you would like to see Amanda's boobs, please come out to Corpus Christi Atheist meetups. We meet up every Sunday at 5:30. This weekend is a B&J's weekend. Is that correct?
That is correct.
It's B&J's weekend. If you don't know where that is, visit ccatheist.com for a list of our public events. You can see all of our affiliates and check them out. SouthTexasCOR.com.
Is that actually correct?
B&J's? Yeah, it's B&J's this
Yeah, it's
weekend.
B&J's.
It is B&J's this weekend. So in news that will surprise nobody except those who listen to Christian metalcore, but I don't think I have.
Sorry.
I was gonna say
I got really excited.
I was gonna say I don't think I've met anybody that listens to Christian metalcore, but now I kind of think I have. Christian metalcore?
No. But we have an old member who actually has Christian metal tattoos,
That's
and it's so
awesome.
unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
A
And he
member
used
who
to-
is old or a member who is no longer?
he still hangs around Illuminati, but he's not. He doesn't come to meetups anymore. But he used to be in a Christian metal band.
Nice.
Yeah,
Like Striper?
yes, that's exactly.
No one but
You
us
outed
two
him.
get this. This
Striper
is
is
awesome.
Christian? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And Susan's just going, what's a striper?
Is that the people with the candy?
Go fuck yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna start this completely over because you're an asshole.
Fair enough.
In news that will surprise nobody except those who actually listen to Christian metalcore, I hate you.
You will never escape from the assholery.
Good point. So the former singer for the Christian metalcore band As I Lay Dying, Tim Lambesis, is that how you say his last name?
guess. Who knows?
I'm guessing.
Who cares? All these
I didn't realize
Christians
As I Lay
sound the
Dying
same.
was a Christian band. Okay.
Neither did I. I had no idea. Until
I can't
read
understand
this.
their lyrics, which probably helps that.
Yeah. So he actually admitted last month in an interview with Alternative Press that in the midst of his plot to take a hit out on his estranged wife,
Oh, that guy.
yeah,
You know.
his
This
whole,
is the part of the show where everyone realizes Jay has done nothing to prepare for the show.
no reading. He admitted that the whole Christian shtick that he was going on, that he was basing his career on, was actually a whole bunch of bullshit. So, a month before his May 2013 arrest, he had posted a video on YouTube defending his side project, Perithian. People were calling it satanic, saying, "What are you doing? You're a Christian." And he was like, "No, I'm not satanic. I'm totally Christian and stuff." And he was trying to make it seem like he was way more awesome than he actually is. So he said in this article that it turns out he was actually an atheist all along. And since, so he had cheated on his wife before he tried to take out the hit on her.
Wow, you get all up in his business. I didn't even read that far.
No, dude, I read this Alternative Press article. Like,
So am
This
I
dude is a
gathering that he did the Christian metal thing for the chicks?
probably.
It's a lot of butt sex, and he was really
Okay.
into it.
Fair enough.
he-
Who can blame him?
He says later on in the article that he knew a lot of artists that were in, the Christian music scene that were actually atheist and only did it for the money.
And
Which
the
I've heard
chicks.
that.
Yeah, which, I mean, it totally makes sense.
So, how do you feel about that? Because I mean, it's not like he's selling pseudoscience crap
They're
on
like
television.
the Dr. Oz's of the Christian music world.
It's the same thing. They're giving him money and he's lying to them. What's the
no,
difference?
The difference is, I
If you're
don't.
pissed at this, then you got to be pissed at that.
So Christian music performed by Christians is indistinguishable from Christian music played by baby-eating atheists.
It's all bad.
No one writes good Christian music.
No.
Except
Not
Derek
lyrically.
Cartman.
Not lyrically, no.
True.
Although I gotta say, in Catholic school and grade school, I had a big thing with Amy Grant. Amy Grant.
Oh, yeah.
I had a 7th, 8th grade. Loved me some Amy Grant.
No, I disagree though.
You
On,
had
on
pure
the,
thoughts about Amy Grant.
That's totally Catholic thoughts about Amy Grant.
There's actually
Catholic
some really
thoughts.
good Christian rock and metal out there. Surprisingly.
Like what?
Like As I Lay Dying.
Okay, I don't know any of these, so
Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say As I Lay Dying was good, but anyway, sorry. It's off point.
So anyway, he had said since the whole time he was an atheist, he's sort of stepped back and took a look at his morality.
whoa. Let's be honest. Since he was arrested, he has taken a step back. He was
Well-
an atheist for a long time.
No. What he did was he reevaluated the morality that he had sort of charaded around when he was pretending to be a Christian, and he justified like cheating on his wife and just
And
generally
then trying to kill her.
and just generally being an asshole by saying I had built my whole entire moral code on this religion that I no longer believe in, so hey, I'm not gonna be moral anymore, which makes me really mad.
This is so weird though, because I mean, constantly you'll I don't know whether you guys have ever had this, but I have Christians like saying, "What stops you from going out and raping and killing people?" And literally, this guy is saying that
Nothing at all.
I'm gonna do it.
I don't believe this Jesus crap anymore. Must murder.
Got a guitar in one hand and a gun in the other.
Okay,
Y'all-
Ted Nugent.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say this whole entire Alternative Press article, he sounds like such a tool because he's talking about reading all the Four Horsemen and the Dennett, Dawkins, Hitchens, and Harris. He says, I thought of myself as super scholarly at that time. And I'm like, can you tip your fedora any
Yeah,
harder?
that's like every MRA.
Euphoria.
Yeah, I'm so
intensifies.
smart, and all of you are beneath me, and it is my power to build you and also somehow get pussy.
God, that you just described every single Reddit experience I have ever had.
Anybody want to place bets on how long before he turns back to the church?
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, he went through the sentencing.
So he's going to
This
prison?
month?
So
Oh
he'll
yeah, 6
find-
years.
Oh, he's definitely going to find Jesus.
6
He'll
years.
find God in prison again, and then there will be wonderful, like, prison tapes.
Find God in prison. Was he like hiding under the soap or something? I don't understand
Oh,
that.
Jesus, he's in the back of the toilet with the hooch.
Oh, okay. Or if you've watched Orange is the New Black.
I haven't.
I don't.
Never mind.
Nope.
Sons of bitches.
I do think this is a really great story, though, from an atheist perspective, just to keep it all together. That, while we're very much less likely to commit crimes, we're more likely to be moral people. Crazy comes in all forms. And,
Yes. There are many flavors.
right. And, I assume that this guy is telling the truth when he says he's an atheist. And while you can't trace his attempted murder to his atheism, there's no dogma, there's no tenets, there's nothing that makes you... There's nothing about atheism that makes you kill people.
Yeah.
Or so you would have us believe.
We'll talk after the show. Post-show, we're going to talk about how you go about killing people as an atheist.
Cool.
But, we talk about a lot of crazy Christians on this show week to week, and it's a good reminder that some of that is due to their Christianity, and some of it is just due to that some people are,
Crazy.
what do you say? Fruit bat?
Fruit bat crackers
Fruit
nuts.
nuts bets? What?
Fruit bat crackers nuts. Thank you very much.
Fruit bat nuts. Okay.
We talked
Crackers. You're forgetting about the crackers.
No, I'm just focused on the nuts. You gotta
Fruit
pinch
nuts.
them. Sorry, that was pre-show stuff. You guys got to get to the chat room early if you want to get these really good jokes. All right, so moving on to South Carolina. Charles Jeffrey Short was arrested Sunday morning for decapitating a Jesus statue in front of Charleston's Sacred Heart Catholic Church. This was the second time he allegedly took Jesus' head clean off in less than a week.
It was him the first time too.
Well, he hasn't confessed to that one, but
Is there like
come on.
is there like a thing that you're not supposed to like? You're not supposed to take the Lord's name in vain. You're
Thou
not supposed
shalt
to
have
take.
make no graven images of those you worship or something to that effect.
Thou shalt not take Jesus' head
From
his
his shoulders.
Jesus shall
Probably.
not be compared to Ned Stark.
Who?
So, oh man, oh dude, okay, never mind. We'll explain it to you in post show. So a police officer, the church people started showing up Sunday morning, and they noticed that Jesus looked a little different.
Wait, was this like a big statue?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like like a little desktop.
No,
No.
it was life sized.
I'm imagining the Jesus statue on the bayfront in front of that one church where he's like on the boat. And
Touchdown Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Best thing
it's
ever.
Surfer Jesus right
He's
there
like,
on the
I'm
boat.
on a boat.
We should put a picture of that in the Atheist Airwaves Facebook page, so all of you people who don't live in Corpus Christi can see the Surfer Jesus who is down on the bayfront. So anyway, they called the police, the church people, and the police were going around. They spotted Short walking near the church. I don't know why he let them search him, but he let them look in his backpack, which had a sledgehammer with a white Jesus-y material on it.
Bow chicka bow wow.
So he knocked it off with a sledgehammer?
Yeah, he knocked it off with a sledgehammer. The officer told him, "You have the right to remain silent." He's like, "No, let me tell you." He's like, "No, seriously, you have the right to remain silent." He's like, "No, let me tell you why I did this." He's like, "Okay, bro." And this is the best part of the story. He told the officer that he decapitated Jesus because the second or first commandment forbids making an image of a male or female to be on display in the public. He can't even figure out what commandment it is. And the worst thing is he was wrong. I mean, not only does he not know in a multiple choice thing, he's not getting this right. It's actually the third commandment in Deuteronomy that says you shall not make graven images. Fruit bat nuts.
Fruit bat.
Just the nuts.
Don't forget
No
the
crackers.
crackers.
Fruit crackers on nuts bats.
So they say in the article that it's like a $5,000 repair bill. I just really hate the fact that they're just gonna repair it rather than using that $5,000 for better thing.
I can glue a head back on.
I'll do it
Crazy
for
glue, man.
I'll do it for 4,000. Come on, man.
Oh,
I'll make it look really classy. But seriously, how much money was it?
$5,000.
$5,000 of the $48 billion that people give to churches in this country every year.
So they can make things like Touchdown Jesus.
Right.
They should hire that lady who did the fresco painting to redo this one.
Oh my God.
Put his head on backwards.
I'm serious. If they hired that lady to fix this statue and charged money to see the result, I would go. I don't care how much money it's.
Road trip. We'll make a meetup for it.
Did they ever fix that fresco? Because I kind of want to see it.
I don't think so. I think they were just like,
How do you fix that?
it's like this now.
How do you undo that?
You have to find some other crazy lady
Oh, dear.
who is the direct opposite of that crazy lady who can undo all of it. I don't know.
Okay, we'll go with that.
All right. Speaking of crazy people, we're moving on to Russia. The Russian Orthodox Church has taken us all back to 1996, and
Sorry.
Are you remembering that they can see you this week?
No, I was like trying to do this, but then my fingers wouldn't do it. So then I was like, oh, I'm on camera. I was like, do this then. And then Jay is all like, what the fuck are you doing?
This is why we can't have nice things.
that's
And that'll be all edited out. So all of you people on YouTube or listening in the chat room, boy, aren't you lucky.
lucky.
Please continue, Amanda.
All right. Crazy Russia, 1996.
Well, thanks for that story. And
The
moving on.
rundown.
The Russian Orthodox organization God's Will, that's what they named their group.
Totally
God's
not.
Will. Generally, when people are like, I am talking for God, I say, you don't know what you're talking about.
And
That's
you
pretty much.
you might need some sedatives.
Yes. What is it, Adderall? Is that Addervan? Whatever magic pills you're on.
Ativan is the anti-anxiety. They're probably going to need something a lot more
Addervan.
hardcore.
Let's run down and check out where are they at. They're Addervan. This is like
New name for a Christian rock band, Addervan. Okay, so God's Will are imploring Moscow's mayor to cancel Marilyn Manson's show there because of the performer's blasphemous material. Yes, because
Like
Marilyn Manson
satin?
is new, and no one
knows
what
what
he
they're up to.
does.
Right.
In
Yeah.
Soviet Russia, Marilyn Manson blasphemes you. I just really want to say that, okay? Go fuck
we
yourself.
all just kind of looked at each other and went,
Well, that was not funny at all.
I
You know,
knew that was going to get that kind of
when you-
reaction.
When you thought of that pre-show, you should have thought it through in your head. What is the reaction going to be? Should I say that?
I knew it was going to be something along those lines, actually, and I still said it.
She gets that reaction a lot.
I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
so what is his blasphemous material? Is it like satin or
Satin, yes. It's all
okay.
satin. Nights in white satin. The organization also said Manson's performances were full of elements insulting to the feelings of believers and promoted religious hatred, cruelty, murder, suicide, sexual perversion, and Satanism among young people, including minors.
That sounds like an awesome show.
I have no problems with this.
I'm going.
Now, the problem is that Russia, unlike the United States, actually has anti-blasphemy laws. Because the first thing you do after reforming from godless communism is to go batshit religious, apparently.
Of course.
And their blasphemy law that was passed last July, I think, was in direct response to Pussy Riot.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
What fuckers?
basically.
Pussy Riot is so awesome, by the way.
I've never heard of. I mean, I've heard of them only because they got imprisoned or whatever, but
Yeah.
I've never heard of them before that. I haven't heard their music.
Yeah.
I've heard like just snippets of their music. I don't think you can get it anywhere. I've tried because what I've heard, the snippets I've heard, it's not very good. But
Then why did you say they're awesome?
because they are awesome people.
I feel like if I were to Google Pussy Riot, I would not just get their music.
Yeah,
no.
don't do that, and
That would be a
especially at
bad
work.
thing.
Do
Yeah.
not Google Pussy
Yeah.
Riot.
I'm going to
at
switch
work.
to incognito mode right now.
Yeah. So yeah, the anti-blasphemy laws could conceivably only be enforced in Moscow because all of the other cities booked on Marilyn Manson's giant Russia tour have already canceled.
Yeah.
Basically, he's not playing Russia.
Basically.
It's only Moscow.
Yeah, they said on June 11th, 400 residents of Novosibirsk, I don't know how to say that, but I'm going to pretend that was...
Novosibirsk.
Okay, Novosibirsk.
I majored in Russian.
You go, boy. That's a useful skill to have.
Right?
It's super useful.
That's why I am where I am today.
Totes. 400 residents, I assume that's everyone in the town. They demonstrated...
Pretty big city, actually.
Stop with your fucking Russian facts, all right? Just... I will stab you with this pen.
This has been a very violent episode.
I know.
So 400 people in this city.
Novosibirsk.
Thank you. They all showed up. They protested. They handed out St. George ribbons. They held icons and carried posters with
Who's St. George?
Who the fuck knows?
It's the Russian Orthodox Church. They have like a whole collection of saints, and you kind of like
Collect them all?
Basically, you have like
That's-
icons to the ones that are the most important to you, and you hang them up over your bed, and
So
you
it's
pray
like-
to them every night.
It's
and-
like playing Pokemon, but with saints instead.
a little bit. I was gonna say like the Backstreet Boys, where you hang up the poster and you just like talk to them every night before bed. No, that was just
You still do that?
that and the ponies.
Some quality alone time with the Backstreet Boys.
But here's the best part. They carried posters with the inscription, "Say no to Uncle Manson."
What is that?
Uncle Manson.
Because if you needed a way to make Marilyn Manson more creepy, it was by calling him Uncle Manson.
It's not just that like one contact lens he wears that has no color in it or anything.
Has anyone ever seen a Marilyn Manson show? Has anyone ever gone?
No.
I'm so surprised at that. I'm surprised one of us hasn't
Yeah,
seen
me
it.
too. That is pretty surprising.
But they were talking about how I think like one of his shows was culminated in Russia with him burning a Bible. I'm like, yeah, sounds good to me.
There you go.
No problems here. He actually bought what's his nuts? His house. Anton LaVey.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
bought LaVey's house.
Does he have sex dolls in the basement still?
This is why I had this conversation like a week ago. I don't know, but I'm assuming so.
We should have him on the show and ask him.
I'll see what I can do.
But he was all right, sweet. You go for it. Like seriously, like try it because you're magic and you make weird things happen. So try it because maybe we can have like a. 15
You're not the first person to tell me that.
Oh wow! Not touching that one.
That's
I
the
wish
other thing
no
she
one
hears a
had
lot.
touched that one.
What did you say?
I said I wish no one had touched that one. Oh. Don't touch them now.
It's even better because
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jeff Grime. Jeff Grime in the
George.
Jeff Grime in the chat room notes that St. George was the guy who killed the dragon. I think that's right.
Yeah,
that sounds
St.
right.
George.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to look
England
at
and
Jeff
St.
again
George.
and not call him George.
And apparently
Hey, George.
Marilyn Manson was on Bill Maher recently and was awesome according to our chat room. So he would totally be on our show if he'll be on Bill Maher.
He was also on the Talking Dead, and he was like stoned out of his mind or something because he was just like.
I'm not
It was the
surprised.
only time I've seen him on like a TV show where he wasn't like coherent and erudite and no, in this appearance he was just like me zombies.
Can you please request that he shows up stoned out of his mind if we get him?
Say, I heard you canceled all of your Russia shows except for Moscow. I think you might have a little bit of free time now.
That's right.
Maybe.
That's right. Come on our podcast. It'll be super
And
cool.
you're really fucked up first.
Let's
I'll-
all make a pact. We'll all get fucked up, and we'll just have the most incoherent podcast of all
Can I
time.
do shrooms?
Isn't that every podcast?
Somebody has to actually record this shit. So I volunteer to be sober.
No soberness.
No.
Reb can be sober.
And he's just like, eh.
Sure, why not?
The cat will be sober.
Okay, let's move on to
Moving on.
let's move on to happier news.
This
We
is
have happy
so
news?
much happier
Yes.
than Marilyn Manson. Are we moving on to my story? That's okay.
The happy one.
Sarcasm.
The happy
So
story.
moving on to Tunisia. 13-year-old Tunisian girl has died from fourth-degree burns that allegedly were because she walked home from school with a classmate who happened to be a boy. Oh my gosh. So she's only referred to as Aya. She spent 9 days in Belarus hospital for burns and injuries, and she finally passed away on June 7th. And her father, his name hasn't been released yet, he's been arrested for what many are saying in their community. Many of them are saying that it was an honor killing, though apparently that's really super rare in modern Tunisia. Like, everybody's saying, oh, this never happens. But yeah.
Because I read a whole bunch of things about activist groups who were saying that it's,
Well, the activist groups that sort of came as a result, like the I was abused too. That one, the
I'm
Facebook
sorry to
one.
hear that.
I think that has sort of maybe less to do with honor killings and more just straight up
Hating
misogyny.
women.
Yeah, just straight up misogyny.
So if you burn a person, is it arson?
Or is it dinner?
In Tunisia, probably, because women are probably property there. So, I mean...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it arson there?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, like,
in
the worst possible way. But I'm just saying, like, if you charge someone
We
with
are charging you
arson...
with arson, sir, in the murder of your daughter.
But it's okay as long as your wife forgives you, then it's totally
Right.
okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
And, like, what's she gonna do after you beat her?
Yeah, exactly. I was
She's
gonna say,
gonna
you're
do
gonna beat her, and then
whatever
you're gonna burn her,
her.
and as long as her dad says it's okay, then you're still off scot-free.
It's just one giant beating cycle.
Well, all you gotta do is give her dad a donkey, so he'll be happy.
Why is it that... And I know we've asked this question before, and we've asked this question of guests before. What is it? Why do we do this to women? Why is it only girls that we do this to?
Do what? Do burn them?
Yeah, honor
Killings
Oh.
and
I mean, you don't...
Because they're treated as lesser human beings in these
Every
countries.
culture has developed around the idea that women are lesser.
Well, not every, but the vast majority.
most
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
I can't think of one that... I can think of a couple, actually.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know why it's built into the human psyche for some reason that women are inferior beings. I don't know.
somehow seen as like weaker and,
Yeah.
and lesser than.
And there are matriarchal societies,
There
but
are,
they're
but
just
they're very
rare.
Few.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It just freaks me out because I
It
don't know.
seems like at some point just men kind of woke up and went, we are strong. We can beat the crap out of these women.
It's
We
totally
should do this
acceptable.
forever.
Yeah, it may be born of a physical, being able to physically overpower them. So if testosterone, I beat you, I'm better. I don't know.
might makes right kind of thing, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good question though. Maybe we should ask somebody who's done some science and shit on it and studied and whatnot, done smart things.
Well, I mean, we did, but I mean, it's just bizarre to me that happens. Although this is one of the things that I really liked about Darrell Ray's book was the whole thing about jealousy, and jealousy is not a big deal in countries where women aren't considered.
Ooh.
That's kind of sexy.
I hope everybody just saw daddy eyes.
But jealousy is not a big deal in countries where women aren't considered property. And that's just really interesting to me.
Well,
Amanda's happiness is annoying me.
She's drawing hearts and ponies.
ladybugs.
Basically.
So
Well, here, let me share it with the chat room. All right, you talk while I
Enjoy
share
my
this
art,
with this.
y'all.
Oh my God, this is actually pretty cool.
What are we talking about?
well, in
Women.
Burning
In-
women?
indirectly, in his book, Dr. Ray talks about sort of the big onset of monogamy was with.
I'm showing everyone her artwork. It's amazing. I need to take a picture of it for our website.
I feel like I should just stop talking and
Sorry, go ahead.
Time. Dr. Ray said that a big part of the sort of onset of monogamy was the agricultural societies as opposed to the hunter-gatherer nomadic societies. Because whenever you settled down and had this plot of land, you had to say, okay, this is mine. I'm going to marry with and have children with this woman, and these are going to be my children. These children will inherit this.
Sure.
So you had to make sure that your bloodline was pure and
Yeah.
secured.
So it goes hand in hand with this is my land, this is my woman, because they only got one. So I think that's when it sort of started to take a hold. Did I just get all technical and shit on you?
No, I'm just.
Let me derail the whole thing and go back to Marilyn Manson for just a second. I've been dying to read this comment on the air because it came through like 20 seconds after we changed topics. But Ustreamer 000219 says that when he was on that Talking Dead podcast, completely stoned out of his mind, that Marilyn Manson said Daryl and Michonne should scissor.
Daryl and Michonne.
Walking Dead.
They're on The Walking Dead. They're two
They're the
characters.
characters.
On The Walking
Okay.
Sorry.
He doesn't watch television.
We're going to teach him about Firefly, Walking Dead, and Game of Thrones.
Game
Yeah.
of Thrones,
So.
Game of Thrones.
All right.
You guys
He's
are
just
weird.
looking at
Are
everyone.
you just discovering that?
You guys are all really weird.
We know.
You're weirder because you don't watch television.
So
Okay.
moving on to actually happy stuff. According to a recent Gallup poll, 75% of the United States believe that the Bible is in some way the Word of God.
Boo.
But apparently this is an all-time low.
Yay.
So 28% believe that the Bible should be taken literally, word for word, verbatim, kind of like Westboro.
Can we get a list of those people so that we can go find out what they've done in their
That sounds
lives
like
that require stoning
Because
and kill them?
if they're dumb enough to believe that, they should be killed. Right, Jay?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Now, 47% believe that the Bible kind of has a little bit of wiggle room, which means, it's sort of the inspired Word of God rather than the literal Word of God. So on the other side of this, 21% of people view the Bible as a strictly secular work with myths and fables, and
They literally can't even.
they literally can't even.
I always liked when Russell Brand interviewed the Westboro Baptist Church.
That was an
He
awesome
was-
It
video.
was great. The Westboro Baptist Church guy is like, the Holy Spirit wrote the Bible. And Russell Brand was just like, the Holy Spirit ain't got a pen.
He can't hold one.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I like that.
So
He's annoying, but he's funny.
the 21% that sort of viewed the Bible as a secular work goes hand in hand with Gallup did a religion aggregate last year, where it showed that 22% of people either had no religion or weren't a part of Christianity. So, and that statistic actually has gone up from 13% in 1976.
Yeah.
Nifty.
So, yeah.
2% of those people got picked up by the Bible as the inspired Word of God, though. So we only got 8% of 8% of the people who abandoned the Bible as 100% the Word of God people.
Fuck 'em.
But this is really, really good news. I mean, we are a minority and we're growing. This is just another sign that we're gaining momentum. I mean, 1 in 4 Americans thinks that the Bible has nothing to do with God. That's more than atheists, agnostics, and unaffiliated people combined. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch. There's about 5% of religious people who think the Bible is a bunch of horse shit. Those people we're gonna peel those people off so easily.
They're going to be the easy targets.
Right. They are the low-hanging fruit. They're going to come to our meetup next week at B&J's
awesome.
Pizza, 5:30 p.m. on Sunday.
What does kind of bug me a little bit, though, about the fact that people say, the Bible is the inspired Word of God, is it feels like it just sort of gives them more of a license to cherry pick what they get out of the Bible. And
Sure.
Hey, I'm totally going to hate gay people and hate women, and
But here's
Continue eating shrimp.
yeah,
right.
totally okay. And if you're caught in a polyester
Polyester.
blend, that's cool, and you're stylish.
But I think it's really good news because people are, like I said, jumping off this is the 100% true Word of God boat. 80% of those people are coming to our team, and 2% are kind of the waffle people. That's good news because those after the 5% who thinks the Bible is horseshit but still believe in God after they join our team, it's the people who are falling into the this is the inspired Word of God. Those people are going to be on our team in no time. I mean, we're talking like decades before this movement is really taking hold, I think. I mean, we're going that direction.
It's great.
As long as the world economy does not disintegrate into nothingness, because nothing grows religious people like
Desperation.
Financial collapse.
Yeah. So as long as we keep surviving, I think this is all good news for us.
Yeah. So it'll be great. But sort of getting those people to actually come over to our side is something that pertains to what our upcoming events are. That was the worst segue ever. I apologize. That was really horrible.
I wasn't even listening, so I forgive
why am
you.
I not surprised? So we have some upcoming events. On July 8th, we are going to be interviewing Dr. Peter Boghossian, who's the author of Manual for Creating Atheists. If you've not already gotten it, get it soon. It's really good so far.
Nope.
How far are you? How far are you, Christian?
I am on like chapter 3. I've been really, really awful. But I've been working on this wedding I had to do tonight. So now all I have to do is read.
Cool.
So I
That's
will.
all you've got to do.
Well, no, but all of my midnight to 4 a.m. time is completely
Totally free.
completely free now.
I was sitting in the doctor's office, like in the waiting room yesterday, like in my work clothes, because I went to the doctor straight from work, like with a book that says Manual for Creating Atheists and a highlighter. I'm kind of getting a couple looks, but
I love that.
fair.
Thank you, crazy cat lady. My favorite thing, my favorite public book reading thing, though, was reading Harry Potter many years ago in like a oil change place, and some lady going absolutely batshit on me.
You're reading a kid's book.
No.
Oh, it was
of
satanic.
Satan, yes.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, this isn't satanic. But actually, I am an atheist.
Yeah. We used to get those people at the bookstore all the time. It was like, don't buy it.
It's like, it's easy.
No, you have to take it off the shelves. It's evil. You're corrupting youth. Blah, 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 blah. Don't buy it.
You're looking for logic in a situation where there is none.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, cool.
Anyway, this past weekend, some of us and Susan and I were there at Awful Movie plus dinner. We went to see God's Not Dead.
it was
Oh my God. This is one of the most poorly written movies I've ever seen. I mean, obviously I wasn't going to agree with their agenda, but literally there were lines where we were laughing and it was completely inappropriate.
and we were the only ones laughing.
Now, towards the end, so like the most hilarious line is when Kevin Sorbo is choking to death on his own blood. Which doesn't sound like it would be funny. Yeah, spit it up, Turpin. The one time you're not on camera and you're spraying Dr. Pepper everywhere.
Don't choke on your Diet Dr. Pepper like Kevin Sorbo did on his own blood.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
so
for the
he's
warning.
choking on his own blood.
Right. Totally hilarious line. The priest is like, his ribs are crushed and he's choking on his own blood.
He only,
He's
ha-
like,
he only has a couple minutes left.
we all started laughing. Everybody else came with us. I mean,
Because it's like, how the hell do you know that his ribs are crushed?
Right.
Like, and that because he just gets hit by a car, flies in the air, and it's like,
brings out the tricorder. Woo, 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 woo.
yeah, did we have like Superman on our hands or something? Was he
Yeah,
using his
yeah.
X-ray vision in order? Is that what he got whenever he was?
God told him.
Yeah,
I don't
was
doubt
it.
that actually.
And so the main thrust of that frickin' movie is just moving the burden of proof from theists to atheists, and then a whole bunch of caricatures, racists. My favorite bit, though, is the main character and this foreign exchange student. They're totally having gay sex. It was so homoerotic. I couldn't. I was just beside myself. Absolutely. So, are we gonna do Skype?
We
Should we?
can. I don't see why not.
I should probably load it if we're gonna.
Did you
do
bring
that.
your charger this time?
Yes. Yes, I have a charger this time. In fact, I'm fully charged this time, so it doesn't matter.
And nobody's gonna call this time.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
of
Hold
course.
on, let me.
That means that y'all there in the chat room, one of y'all has to call because we have this many people in the chat room. Somebody.
See if I can remember the password. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a horrible human being.
Yes.
Clearly. Oh my Freaking
And for anybody who's interested, once he gets it up and running, the number that you can call is 515.
No, I'm setting up Skype.
Oh, Skype. Never mind. Atheist Airwaves then on
Atheist
Skype.
Airwaves on Skype, all one word.
Tell us about some follow-up.
Have headphones, have something to say,
Mm-hmm.
because we're ADD and we'll get distracted easily.
Turn down whatever you're.
So while we're waiting to see if anyone else wants to call in, we have a follow-up story from last week, I think. So the woman who, I can't remember what her name is.
Miriam Ibrahim.
Yeah, that's it. She was the woman who was arrested in Sudan because she married a Christian man. And as you know, her father was Muslim, so she's supposed to be Muslim. She can never be Christian. She was raised Christian, married a Christian man, and they arrested her and sentenced her to death. Now, the good news is that her death sentence was overturned. The government cited the ridiculous amount of pressure they got from the international community, our country, the UK, Amnesty International. Everyone was WTF, man. What are you doing? So they were going to let her go.
Yay!
The bad news is that we got word this morning that she'd been rearrested at the airport.
Oh.
40 agents, while she was trying to board her plane, it took 40 people to arrest this little
The
woman.
mother of a newborn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. They're wiling.
And well, she had 2 kids, so maybe that was it. You know, they needed 40 guys in case the kids got out of control.
They wanted to, never mind.
So what did they rearrest her for?
They didn't really say at first, and then later on in the day, they said that it was because her travel documents weren't in order and that they were going to let her go again.
Because obviously, if your travel documents aren't in order, 40 people need to show up and be
Yeah.
like, hey, your papers are missing a signature. Forge that shit.
On the ground,
So
right
they're going to
now.
release her again.
That's what they're claiming.
That's awfully strange that they're going to arrest her in force and then release her again. I mean, did they bring her in just to torture her for the last time because she's going to leave the country and never come back, or what?
Probably.
I don't know. There was some speculation that some wealthy families in Sudan were trying to get them to undo what they did and take her back in. Apparently, that is not going to work because they're going to let her go in, is what they say. They haven't done it yet. It's insanity that they were going to even...
Put her to death for apostasy.
Yeah. Here's the other thing is, I don't know whether, okay, I'm going to go with it's very stupid and she should be executed. But I mean, the court gave her 3 days to renounce her Christianity. And if a court said, you have to claim you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Jehovah's Witness or an ice cream man, or we're going to put you to death, I'd be like,
I'm an ice cream man.
who? I am a freaking ice cream man who wants a bomb pop because that's what I'm doing. Because
Really?
who the hair cares? Yeah, who the hell cares?
Who the hell cares? Who the hairy carry?
Who the hell cares? I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, obviously, this is something that means a lot to her. So I don't know that that's.
I think that makes you a little spineless, Christian.
What difference does it make? I mean,
If it's a matter between life and death, I am willing to
I wouldn't expect
lie
Christian
to
to
a
take
person.
that. I just wouldn't expect Christian to take that stance.
I'm hardcore, but I'll choose my battles. You know, I mean, I don't know what that helps.
No, I mean,
It's not like-
awareness, if anything. I mean, you're not going to be able to do anything after that because you're going to be dead. But
Yeah. And if I'm stupid enough to get myself killed, this is the only time I'm trying to be Jay for an episode.
it doesn't work well.
I'm really taxing. Psychologically, the toll is just not worth it.
Now we know why he drinks so much.
Right? So the other thing that I wanted to highlight about this story, though, is that Republican Congressman Chris Smith of New Jersey is partially responsible for the change of heart that Sudan has. And he's the one who is really pushing to get her to actually seek asylum in the United States. So that's, I think, I forget where she's flying to out of wherever she is, but I think the next flight she gets will be to here to the United States so that she can be safe and not get arrested by 40 guys for not having the right stamp on her travel papers.
She'll actually be in the majority for her religion for once.
Oh yeah. That'll be I'm so happy for her. piece of.
Aw.
All right. So let's talk about other stupid religious people. In India, Lal Moham Soren is a 17-year-old dumbass.
La Moham?
Aren't most 17-year-olds dumbasses, though?
Well, this one
Most
really,
humans.
Especially.
he really took it to the next level. This guy is really, really going for it. He was found sitting at the, Maheda Devgarha temple.
Didn't major in Hindi, did you, buddy?
Did not. Can we talk about Novosibirsk again? With a bowl at his feet that contained his tongue. And there was a note next to the bowl that said, I have cut off my tongue and offered it to Lord Shiva. Please do not throw me out of the temple. I just want to sit here at the feet of the Lord.
As he bleeds profusely?
Right. Oh, yeah. Did you see the picture of him?
Negative.
No,
Yeah.
you haven't prepared at all. He's like, there's blood all over his mouth.
All over
What
the
did he use
ground.
to cut his tongue off?
A dull
Okay, this is it.
blade.
A dull knife. I mean, like,
Dude is hardcore.
right?
I mean, these aren't like, what did they say?
Not like that stupid bus driver.
Yeah, so
guy,
he's
I
not like,
know.
what did they say? Apprehensive wounds? Or whatever they call
Hesitation.
it.
hesitation. No, he went for it. He went to town with a rusty knife. It's like, oh my god. So, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, you're insane enough to cut off your own tongue to get some unspecified favor from your ridiculous god. The worst thing, though, is that they got his mother to comment. And his mother said, quote, my son has sacrificed his tongue to please the God, so we're sure the God will fulfill his wishes and give him a good life. I'm like, what? And then when they reached the son for comment at the hospital, he said,
Can you sew
that
a tongue
one.
back on? Is that a
No.
is that a reattachable
Well,
appendage?
not in India.
yeah, right.
Not, if
Why
it's,
not?
not
There's
after not after it's sat in a bowl for like 2 hours.
You gotta keep that shit on ice,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'll remember that the
Haven't you
next
done-
time I sever my tongue.
Haven't you done any black market organ trafficking? I mean, that's like basic stuff. That's black market 101.
Not in the, no, I've never been in the organ trade.
Oh, okay.
Black
Oregon
market,
Trail?
never
What?
mind.
I was going to say, you have
You
died.
died of dysentery.
Damn you, Turpin.
You have died of tongue
That poor
decapitation.
kid, he will never have a girlfriend now.
Jeff Griman.
I don't know. Maybe it's enhanced. I mean, he's got a.
Maybe if he gets a good taxidermist, he can, like, you know.
Well, he can
put
get some
on
really
a-
cool piercings now.
There you go.
Apparently, at this same temple in 2011, a boy had severed 2 of his fingers as an offering as well. But there's no word on if that kid's gotten his blessings yet either. But
Somebody
Is there-
figure out what they're preaching in this
Yeah, I
temple.
want to go hang out at this temple and watch kids do.
Obviously, they're saying, like, screw yourself up and God will totally dig it.
Do they offer a 100% guarantee, tongue back guarantee at this temple? That's what I don't know. That is the really weird thing for me, though. Like, locals in town reacted, you know, the press went to talk to them. They reacted with a collective yawn. They're like, yeah, that's what they do. You know, this is just par for the course. This is what we do.
I want to go hang out at this temple and watch kids do hardcore shit to themselves.
I don't.
Is it weird that I'm now thinking, like, I wonder if they could grow, like, a fake tongue out of, like, lizard tails because they regenerate? I don't know. I'm having crazy thoughts now, but it sounds really interesting.
I'm usually making this face at Jay. I don't think I've ever had to make this face at Amanda.
Why are you having these thoughts?
I don't know. I'm just like, well, how would they, like, replace a tongue?
Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah.
that's where you. Okay.
Yeah. I was just like, well,
Lizard
maybe
tails?
like lizard tails because they regenerate. So maybe you could like grow extra material. I know they've grown ears on the back of mice. Maybe they can do similar with the tongue, but you would have to keep it moist, so it'd have to be some sort of amphibian. Okay, moving on.
okay, you'll all actually be pleased to know that the boy is now at home recovering. He's unable to talk, but he's on a liquid diet.
Okay.
So that's good.
Oh, good.
Good for him. I hope he gets his
He's unable to
blessings.
talk. You don't say.
You streamer 000219 in the chat room says them sell that tongue. I'm like, it's India, dude. They don't even have band-aids for that tongue.
Wonder if
And
they,
that's I apologize to our Indian listeners. for-
But we don't want to go there either.
although of the places we've talked about, I think India is the place I would go. I'd
Yeah.
be okay with
Maybe the food.
as long as I didn't cut off my tongue while I was there.
Yeah.
That's the stipulation. Don't cut off your tongue while you're there, and you'll have a much better time.
The only person I've ever known personally who went to India came back totally fucking insane. So
Really?
I don't think I want to go there.
Well, like insane in what way?
I'll tell you
membrane.
later.
All right, moving
Let's
on.
let's actually
Let's kill it.
no. Let's briefly talk about Wendy Davis, just because we're
Oh, okay.
Texans and
Right.
we should do that.
All
You
right.
want to talk about that at all, Nina? we haven't prepared this. It was just like an offhand
just off the
comment.
cuff.
It was kind of just a brief little comment. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Wendy Davis's first filibuster against
Second.
the.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say she had another filibuster
Yeah.
for that, but this is the
Yeah.
one about the abortion lady.
Yeah. This was the date. Tomorrow is the date of her filibuster against HB 5.
And that's important. The anniversary of it's important. Why?
Because it was important in politics.
Oh, but the
Politics
anniversary
part.
really doesn't mean anything.
Not really.
Not really.
Okay.
It's just an anniversary of when 20,000 people showed up at the state capitol.
I thought there was something
protested.
In a
significant about
sea
the
of-
anniversary itself. Okay, gotcha.
In a sea of orange. And since she's got her bid for governor going on right now, too.
Right, and I was going to say, for the non-Texans out there, Wendy Davis is the Democrat running for governor of Texas. Her opponent is Greg Abbott, who is the most ridiculously stupid, hardcore theist. If you guys know who Rick Perry is, think about Rick Perry without a brain, and that is Greg Abbott.
Yeah, Greg Abbott, and this is not a knock on his disability, please don't take it that way, but he does not seem to have a spine.
Oh,
I know, and I was like, I
He's
was trying to...
disabled?
He is disabled,
Yeah.
yes, he is in a wheelchair.
Oh.
But he will toe the party line, basically, it seems like.
Yeah.
Whatever they tell him to do, he's like,
he's gonna
Roger
do it."
Wilco!
and not just the party line, but like the hardcore crazy teabagger line. It's
Yeah.
insanity. But
He
here's
just recently lost his lawsuit against the EPA, saying that they had no right to regulate greenhouse gases in the state of Texas, and the Supreme Court, or not the Supreme Court, but was it the Supreme
it
Court
was
or
the
a
Texas.
federal court?
Was it the Texas Supreme Court?
Possibly.
I don't remember. Okay.
It was, they both basically went, yeah, the federal government actually has the right to do that, you fucking douchebag.
Right.
Yeah, and the
this is-
same thing with the voting rights things. He was like, we don't really have to answer this because the Supreme Court knocked down the ruling. And they went, no, you still got to answer this.
This is the same guy whose supporters are calling Wendy Davis abortion Barbie.
Yeah.
And putting her on like the.
But
Abortion
that's
Barbie.
yeah, because she's blonde.
How dare she be an attractive woman
That's
who
messed
also
up.
like thinks about things?
Yeah.
But I think
Have
we
you
should call
seen-
him Coat Hanger Ken.
Oh, I like that.
It was a lackluster high.
But that's okay. I'll pause the show so you can get a good high five.
Thank you. I
That's all right.
appreciate it.
But this is the thing: is that tomorrow, June
25th.
June 25th is the anniversary of her abortion filibuster, which was successful initially.
With the help of the activists who were in the Capitol.
20,000 people who were drowning everything out. The Republicans tried to cheat and were unsuccessful. But this is what she's known for, and this is why the polls for Wendy Davis have not changed since they started taking them. They've been exactly dead flat even. Greg Abbott, unless something really weird happens, is going to be our next Pope in Chief in the state of Texas.
So what you're saying is we should put explosives on his wheelchair.
That will be edited out.
Not explicitly.
No, that's not what I'm saying, Jay. But that's a very funny joke.
It's, yes.
Anyway,
completely not serious.
I don't know. I feel like liberals in Texas are not smart, and I feel like I don't think that the governorship is Wendy Davis's goal. I feel like she has a different goal, and I feel like the machinery behind her is trying to accomplish. Well, I don't think they know what they're doing, and it makes me very sad because as I moved down here when Rick Perry was governor, that was insanity, and Greg Abbott is so much worse that I almost would not be able to take it. It's going to be a theocracy.
Between Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick, who is running for lieutenant governor, the two of them are just crazy pants, especially Dan Patrick, because the night that the abortion bill actually passed, because it actually passed like mid-July, or mid-July, sorry. Basically, it became like just a bunch of sermons on the floor of the Texas State House. Right. With him, Dan Patrick basically said that this is literally what he said, that he listened to God a little bit more than some other people in that state house.
And that's something to be proud of?
That's a mental disability, guys.
Yeah, this is, and like they had that faith and family conference this weekend or whatever, and he was...
trying to pull up that quote.
Yeah, he made this crazy thing where basically it wasn't that he was running for public office because, you know, a lot of people in public office were trying to get power for themselves or whatever, but he was doing it to build Jesus' kingdom, basically.
He said this weekend, quote, "We have too many candidates and too many elected officials who think politics and service is about them. It's about him with a capital H. It's about building the kingdom for him," meaning God. This is the next wave of Texas leadership, and it scares me to death.
To what extreme would you be willing to go, Christian?
I'm going to vote for Wendy Davis. I'm not going to vote for any local people. I don't think it's going to do any good. I don't think that the machinery behind Wendy Davis is going to make a difference. They have to assuming the Republicans don't motivate a single new voter to vote, in order for their Get Out the Vote campaign to work, they have to convince 600,000 people who have never voted before. 599,999 because Jay's going to vote.
I am?
Yes, you are. To vote in this election who have never voted before. It's not a presidential election. That's not going to happen.
So why should I?
Because it gets us closer to getting the theocracy out of Texas government, and we need to do that.
So you're telling me I should waste my time?
Yes, to make a point. And so that Amanda does not stab you with a pencil.
She's only got a pen right now.
All right.
That was like the creepiest, most sadistically twisted thing I've ever heard come out of your face.
Thank you. See, I say it, but I'm all tiny and cute and adorable.
Yeah, the scary look in your eyes is what made it.
Yay!
All right, let's shut it down, guys.
Bye.
Post-show time.
Thank you for listening to Atheist Airwaves on Secular FM Radio. We're sponsored by Corpus Christi Atheist and the South Texas Coalition of Reason. If you would like to talk to us, complain, compliment, whatever, got it at atheistairwaves.com. And thanks to Tombstone to Dead Man for our outro music. Look for him on Facebook or listen to Spotify.
That guy rules. See you guys next week.
Being a skeptic means so much more than being an atheist. And until you accept that, you won't relate to this. That cognitive dissonance that you experience is when there's things you claim to believe in but ain't living it. Most of you say you are the type to question everything until I hear the conspiracy theories that you echoing. And when I scrutinize the things you try to say are lies, expose your sources as suspect, I see your logic dies. Some still believe in pseudosciences, engage in special pleading when theists use the exact same reasoning. I've even seen atheists use arguments from ignorance and seem oppressed to tell me exactly just what the difference is. A skeptic without the ability to analyze is just as bad as it is, cause he'll probably accept a lie. Just as long as it verifies all his biases, applying it to his knowledge pool, and then he's diving in. So I'm not saying that some conspiracies do not exist. I'm just saying that a lot of them are some bullshit. So I'ma call a spade no matter who asserts that nobody's perfect and just one lie, that it's all perverted. Bring down the curtains on that sad display. The only ways to question yourself and all the things you say. Start the day. And maybe we can ride rise above and be examples for others to emulate, and that's the way we win this battle. So this is where I'm making my stand, and now regardless who don't like it or how they get mad, see why the rest of y'all capitulate and go with the plan. I'll be beating on this wall until I'm breaking my hand. So listen while I state official policy. No matter how I'm threatened with hell, then never silence me. I know that you don't see this as imperative, but I refuse to lose and let the stupid friend the narrative.
Do you believe?
Stupid phone.
So I sent a text message to a friend earlier, and it
Yeah?
said, "I'm putting thermite in your mailbox."
Wow.
Okay, well, when the
When the
I did. I put
authorities-
thermite in his mailbox.
you did?
Huh?
Okay, so you were giving him thermite.
Yeah.
You weren't. Okay.
Oh, dear.
Why do you have thermite? What are you trying to bring down a tower?
You know, it's funny you should say that.
The conversation just gets better and better.
Yeah. No, we're burning 2 wooden towers.
Fuck you, Felipe.
I don't
Someone-
even know why he just said that. I'm just gonna nod and move on.
Oh, sorry. Was it in the
Yeah,
chat
fuck
room?
you, Felipe.
He said someone should have called in and just made puns the whole time.
That would have been awesome.
No, and you need to be on the mic if you're gonna talk. But
Or give it to Reb, one or the other.
right, switch out. If anyone has anything to say, if you're and Jeff Grimes says he's drunk right now, so
George
call in,
Grime.
bro.
George
Grime, yeah.
Georgie.
he suggests you remain silent.
Me?
Yes.
Why should I remain silent?
His legal advice to you is to remain silent.
About what?
Everything. Admit nothing.
That's the best advice Jay has
Plead
ever
the fifth
received.
all the time.
I gotta actually do something in order for any of this to be incriminating.
No, making threats is a crime.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
I
is.
didn't do anything.
You made threats.
I didn't make good on the threats.
It's still a crime.
How is that a crime? Making a threat is a crime, really?
Making
Yes.
terroristic threats, yes.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
Welcome to the modern world.
And now Jay is really appreciating my editing work. Oh, Jesus. So what are we going to talk about?
Kensei87 in the chat room. You know, people say they pick their nose, but I feel like I was just born with mine.
That came from that Reddit thread. Screw you, buddy.
He is
I-
a Redditor.
I actually read, he posted that on my wall.
I was really interested in the headline here. Christian radio host fired, arrested for sex with young boy through human trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my next story.
So a Christian radio host had sex with
A young boy.
A
a
12-year-old.
sex slave.
Yes.
Yes. He was
Yes.
trafficked into the country by another individual
Mm-hmm.
who this man contacted and said, hey, you got any...
Young boys that I can have sex with.
And he said, I got what you need. And then they hooked it up. And then, so the human trafficker guy got arrested and he kept thorough records.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because he did everything on, like, he had, like, this big website, like an extensive website, the Moser guy.
it was 12 and under, hot or not.
Ooh.
What? Are you
I made that
serious?
up. No,
oh, I was
no.
like, oh my god.
Sorry, man.
She's gonna go home and Google some really bad things.
No. Did I tell you guys last week about my customer who I found out runs an escort service?
No. Here in town?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm driving down the road.
Okay.
And this crazy person comes up beside me and starts honking and like veering into my lane. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look over and it's a customer I've had for a long time. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, pull over. So I pull over to talk to him. And he goes, hey man, he starts talking about this vehicle stuff. And I'm like, okay, great, sure. He goes, let me get your number. I said, all right, well, here's my phone number. And I leave and everything's good. He's going to contact me later. Well, later that night, like 11:30 at night, my phone rings. And I don't recognize the number. So I answer it and I'm like, hello? And they're like, yeah, I missed a call from this number. I'm like, no, you didn't. I didn't call you. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, you were probably looking for an escort. At which point I recognized his voice and said, is this so-and-so? And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, bro. Which makes perfect sense because he always shows up with a different, absolutely gorgeous woman every time. It's very strange.
So we'll talk after the show.
That's odd to me, like the really hot chicks. I don't know. Like I always think like escorts, they're gonna be a little down on their luck, you know?
I've known several escorts. They're
This
not
is not
down on their
surprising.
luck.
Yeah, we've talked about this like when Odie was on the show.
Yeah.
And that there are people who just enjoy that kind of work, which
Yeah.
is,
It's very lucrative.
I agree.
I mean, people enjoy sex.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I couldn't even be a masseuse. I don't even like getting massages from strangers. So, I mean, that would not be my chosen field of work. But I mean, all more power to you if you enjoy it.
Whatever floats your boat.
If you enjoy bringing people sexual gratification and making a lot of money doing it, there's no reason to be down on your luck.
There you go.
End of conversation.
Here's the thing. It's like if you run an escort service or a prostitution ring or a human trafficking ring,
Should probably be a little more careful.
maybe don't keep records or fucking encrypt that shit. I mean, encryption is the thing.
I mean, this guy's gonna get caught.
Right?
I mean, he just calls me and he's like, "Did you miss? I missed a phone call. I didn't even call him." And
Right.
he's like, "Oh, you probably were calling for an escort."
No.
This is
Way to
the
keep
Nueces,
it on the DL, dude.
this is the Nueces County Sheriff's Department. I was calling for a donation. However,
Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Dear.
So you probably don't want to use him for an escort.
Rebel 1852 in the chat room says encrypt and plead the fifth when they demand the password. That's exactly what you do. You encrypt that shit and you do not let them in. It will take them, if you have good encryption, it will take them longer than your lifetime to crack it.
I just
Depends on
choose
the
not to
encryption.
partake.
That's what I
in
said.
that.
Ferris, criminal
It's
mastermind.
hard to find encryption that you actually can't buy the keys for.
No, it's not. No,
yeah,
it's
it
not.
is.
If you know what you're doing, it's trivial.
Okay, no,
Someone-
I take it back. You are right. Yeah, you're right.
Someone call in. Someone have something to talk about because I've got nothing. Anyone else got something they want to
I
talk about?
could
Let's talk about butt sex.
tell more
No.
puns.
No puns.
No
and
puns.
there's no Skyping into Atheist Airwaves with puns. That is not a thing that is okay
Why not?
because I have declared it so. This is a
It's not a fucking
This is a no pun zone.
the no pun zone. Are you the pun police?
I have this finger can hang up on anybody. I can mute your microphones.
Yeah.
I control the horizontal. I control the vertical. Nothing happens unless I allow
Good.
it.
If you want to, the muting the microphones is no real threat. Because I can just speak loud enough for yours to pick it up.
What are you gonna do now? I muted everything.
I can unmute the one on the board too. That'll take you forever to figure out.
Let's fight.
Roar! Yeah, I told you I was going to kick your ass today, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Something-
So it's
something along
time.
those lines.
It's time.
Peggy13 says Ned Stark. That's all she said. I don't know if we were supposed to talk about Game of Thrones. No.
This is. Oh God. No Jesus memes, please.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But this is the way you need to tell your friend this. Are you drawing penises on her sheet?
Probably.
Like sad faces all over her happiness.
But this is what you do.
Happiness?
If you are running an escort ring, you have a drinking problem, Jay?
Evidently.
he just poured beer all over himself. Dos Equis everywhere.
It was just like an airplane.
So tell your friend, all you have to do is make sure your escorts go out with camcorders and say they're making porn. Because if you tape it, it's not prostitution, it's pornography. Yeah.
Really? Can we get legal counsel on
Hey,
this?
can you help us out in the chat
George,
room,
come on, George.
George?
Hey,
But I
George.
mean,
How you doing, George?
you pay women to have sex with you for
No, I don't.
porn. Well,
You in the general sense, not you in the specific sense.
Okay.
I pay women, and I mean that's Let's see.
You just trailed off there, buddy.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat room. I'm trying to see what people are
Just
saying.
pays women. In general.
It's what you do, you know. Yeah, so Rebel 1852 says, have a camera and release form on site. Porn, not prostitution. That's what I'm saying. It's
You
like,
got to get him to sign the release form first, don't you?
well, yeah. But what?
But I mean,
that's
she's
trivial.
already willing to have sex with you. Why would she not sign a release form?
Oh, you're talking about the guy have a camcorder and
Yes.
release form. I thought you were talking about the escort have a camcorder.
No,
and
I'm,
release
that's
I don't
what
know.
I'm.
That actually could be a good
That's
idea.
what I'm saying.
She just walks around with a GoPro all the time on her head.
That would be the worst. Ugh.
You just get like a shot of like the.
It's just.
We need a live stream. we need an escort live stream.
Wonder, can we call your friend and ask him these questions? Why he doesn't do this?
I'll talk to him.
All right.
Make-
That'll
make
be
sure
a
it's
great
okay
post.
for us.
It'll be a post show. It'll be private.
I'll talk to him. He probably won't, but I'll talk to him.
Okay. Ask him if he'll do it next time. So you guys next Tuesday.
I wouldn't call him a friend. He's a customer.
A dude.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Now we're
Now
the
who's
escort guy is a customer. Okay, now we get to the end of it. So our legal counsel in the chat room confirms that that's cool.
Okay.
GoPro and a signature. That's all you need, and then you can go to town on that shit.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's get it now.
Yeah, and he also notes that they don't actually go after the guys normally, which is relatively true. Although they do have, I mean, they have started doing that John shaming thing where they post their pictures online and stuff. Did anyone see the local news report where they, is it Ruffalo
No.
who does the people behaving badly, and he actually talked to some prostitutes downtown in Corpus Christi?
I didn't see it, but it
He got
is
them to
that guy.
admit they were prostitutes on
Oh
camera?
yeah, oh yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, it was really obvious when what they were doing, but they were the prostitutes that Stevens was assuming. They were like,
I'm like, let's quantify this sentence really fast.
they were the weird
Down on your luck.
down on your
kind
luck,
of.
meth infected,
Meth infected?
like
Okay.
20 pounds and sores everywhere.
Okay, yeah. Why would you pay to have sex with someone like that? I don't understand that mentality.
No teeth.
Because it's better to get a gummer from somebody who's young.
Because you can't,
A gummer.
because blowjobs are a commodity, and it takes a little time and effort. I mean, you have to actually,
I don't think I've ever had a blowjob I would pay for.
God knows I have. I've never paid for a blowjob, but I've had blowjobs that I would pay for.
Did you actually compliment them afterwards? Just say, "Damn, baby, that was charge worthy," or something like that. I don't know. All of a sudden,
That was worth at least $50.
That is not.
$3.50.
No.
I'm taking you to TGI Fridays after this.
It's a fancy night.
That's right.
you can get some of them Jack Daniels ribs.
That sounds really good right now. I'm so hungry.
Ferris just really wants to just suck on that right now.
Okay.
You're
Wait,
welcome.
Ferris wants to give someone a gummer?
So, Jay, you want to talk about the other? I mean, as long as we don't have anything to talk about, and no one wants to call in because you're all pussies.
Talk about what?
The other story we didn't get to, about the Presbyterian Church.
Oh, the other one I was supposed to read and do things about?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one where the Presbyterian Church decided they were okay with gay marriage? Yeah, they did that.
That's awesome.
Yay for butt sex. And cooter kissing or scissoring or
like
whatever they call it.
Gummers.
Daryl and Michonne scissoring.
Yeah, it was in Detroit, Presbyterian denomination, the largest Presbyterian denomination in the U.S. They voted 76 to 24 to allow their ministers to perform gay marriages.
Cool.
Perform gay marriages. Okay. I was thinking maybe they were allowed to do other gay things.
Well, butt sex and what did I say? Cooter kissing? Is that what I
Is
said?
that what you said?
I think I said
Kissing?
cooter kissing, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I check out for a second here and not hear that part?
Apparently.
Apparently.
Oh,
I mean, scissoring, cooter kissing. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, they're two lips, right?
No, scissoring is
Well, scissoring is like when you're. Never.
Haven't we already covered scissoring enough?
Yeah, and we've already gotten an actual lesbian to weigh in on the subject, so I think scissoring's done on our show.
Oh, they do cover scissoring on Orange is the New Black, so that might be a reason for you to watch it.
I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch TV.
I watched an episode. I've seen clips, and especially I gotta tell you the orange. So I'm not an Orange is the New Black person. I'm sure it's wonderful. The clip that everyone was going gaga over about the atheist character, I found really, really lame.
Oh, how she's like, oh, I love
Scissoring.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, right.
and
Yeah, that's the one.
Hitchens.
Yeah, I was really not impressed by that. It seemed like fake atheism to me.
Yeah.
It did not seem genuine in any way, so I was not.
No, I agree, and I actually forget about that quite often because it made that little of an effect on me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good character study.
I've watched Archer.
I've not watched much Archer at all.
Archer's pretty funny.
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
That's about the extent of TV for me.
all right.
I started
right,
watching
then.
Dexter.
That's a good show.
That
I
is
got to
really
tell you, like the first season, I was not a big fan, and the only reason I fell back into it was because I was bored out of my mind during the second season, and I had Showtime at the time, so I was like, fine, I'll watch it. And so
You binge.
I got no, because I was watching it live, but this was way back in the day. But I got hooked again, and I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I was bored that night because like the first season was just so stupid to me. And it got really awesome. You haven't watched? Oh, so let's talk about the series finale.
I've heard it was really like horrible.
People disliked it intensely.
That's what I heard.
Like the
So let me-
Battlestar Galactica finale.
Or like the How I Met Your Mother finale.
I kind of liked the Dexter finale actually myself. I mean, I understand why. I can totally understand why people found it. Yeah, I know you don't
This
know.
is like politics to me. I have nothing to add.
Is it just like
No, go ahead. I'm listening. now.
anticlimactic? Like you're like, oh.
You are not making my paper happy.
Dexter was awesome. I for the chat room.
Did you give me a bunny?
Yes.
I got a fucking bunny.
Can I show it to the chat room?
Amanda gave me a bunny.
Jay's
Is that a euphemism? Aw, bunny.
Jay's funny.
My paper is now happy.
Yay.
No, yay.
So,
No, yay.
did anyone watch? Okay, well, let's talk about series finales. Did anyone watch? Stop! Can you guys stop playing like draw pictures with each other? Did anyone watch 6 Feet Under? Oh, I didn't even flinch.
I
You could
watched
have totally nailed
episodes.
me.
I watched episodes sporadically, but that series finale was freaking amazing.
Seriously, the best series finale
it
I've
was
ever
so
seen.
good
It was
because it's
awesome.
I mean, you always wonder whenever you're watching a show like that and you get really, really invested in these characters. You're always like, well, what the hell happens after this? And it really shows like what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to them and their.
I made a Satan goat
shenanigans.
bunny out of it.
Okay. Well, Hecky13 in the chat room says she loves the Battlestar Galactica finale. Fuck you.
You're dead to me,
Yeah,
Heckard.
yeah.
Dead.
That's
It was awesome.
unacceptable.
It was the best thing
It
ever.
was the worst.
Shut up, Jay.
I'm trying to think of what other series finales. I'm so pissed that none of you motherfuckers watched The Tomorrow People. That was going to be so awesome, and you didn't watch it, and now it's canceled.
My dad tells me about Life Below Zero. I've heard about that show.
Haven't seen that.
I'm still watching The Next Generation.
That's good.
Good times.
He said the other day, he was like, I'm a little jealous of you. And I'm like, why? Because I get to experience it for the first time. And he's like, yeah.
I wish I could watch
Yeah.
all
I
that.
actually watched the entire for the Next Generation thing.
Did you really?
Recently.
Like
I
the
mean,
entirety?
relatively recently, like within the last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just
Good
I'd never gotten into it until now. Like, my parents were always into it. And I remember them watching, like, Deep Space Nine. And
What
stuff
season
like
are you
that.
on?
The first one. I'm only on, like, episode 5.
which is I'm totally not jealous of that. So
Yeah, the first season was a little rocky.
yeah,
The Ferengi really freaked me out.
I don't like
They
Ferengi.
make me weird.
I did like the planet where it was all like matriarchal and they made the men wear scampy clothes.
Yes,
like
and all the
hilarious.
men were like really,
was
really short
so-
and really scrawny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And then Riker comes in and everybody just laughs. Ah, good
But he
times.
wasn't even bearded Riker at the
Yeah,
time,
it
so
was
it
baby
wasn't
Riker.
even like,
Yeah.
I forgot that Riker didn't have a beard at one point.
yeah. And I'm like amazed. I'm like, oh my god, because I love beards. Fuck off.
No one cares.
I care.
No one but you cares.
I've never watched Battlestar Galactica either.
Shut up. You need to do that before you do Star Trek. Are you
Fuck off!
kidding
I'm
me?
watching Star Trek.
No. Battlestar Galactica will take you no time at all.
Oh, it's like what?
4
2
seasons?
4? Okay.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus,
Do it like Portlandia style, where you just start it
fuck is
and then you
Portlandia?
can't stop.
I love Portlandia.
has anyone watched The Shield?
No.
Oh my God, you must watch The Shield.
You should never look at me and say, "Have you ever watched?" and expect me to go, "Yes."
That is it for everyone in the chat room. Go watch The Shield. I think it's like 7 seasons. It's so fucking worth it. It's amazing. That's another one which I wish I could watch over from the beginning without knowing about it.
knowing.
Yeah,
No
it was
spoilers.
so great.
Did you ever watch like any of the Aaron Sorkin shows?
Nope.
Reb knows what I'm talking
Sports
about.
Night.
Sports Night. Oh my God.
favorite.
Sports Night
Yes.
is amazing.
When the DVDs came out, I had a 24-hour marathon. We built a pyramid of beer and watched nothing. I got a projector. We put it on the wall, like
Nice.
10-foot screen, and watched it back to back to back.
I watched it like last year. I watched the entire the entire series, all 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I forgot how good it is.
So one sentence. Gordon, you're wearing my shirt.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so amazing.
Yes. I remember that. And I did love the Jerry Falwell episode.
I don't know if I remember that.
It was basically the building had to be evacuated because
Is that the Spice Girl?
No, that's Hollowell. Jerry Hollowell.
Go play with the cat or something.
Why would I play with evil? I'm allergic to cats.
I am too. I'm like swelling up over here. It's bad.
Dear. Somebody like in the building there was a radio station, they did a skit where Jesus was gay. Okay, or like they made him speak with a lisp. And so someone called in and threatened to blow up the building. And so everybody had to evacuate. And Casey comes back into the building and he's like, "Where are all the religious leaders? Where is everyone going? Like, this is not okay. That you're threatening people in Jesus' name, blah, blah, blah."
Don't do that.
What am I doing?
You're knocking on the table.
I'm not knocking on the table.
Well,
I'm
you're-
bouncing my leg.
Okay,
Yes, and
well,
it's very, very audible.
yes.
My bad.
So these are the things that I loved about Sports Night. The freaking writing was amazing. The meter, like there's a pace at which everyone talks, which is
Yes.
just infectious. I mean,
Yes.
I want to be around people who talk like that.
Yes.
And I love how that meter transfers into West Wing, into
I've never watched that.
not as much into Newsroom, but it
Did you
still
ever
has
watch
that great writing.
Studio 60?
No,
It's also by Aaron
Is our post show
Sorkin.
really about television shows today?
I know, right? Well, help us out here, bro. Come up with something else.
Yeah, you
but
should
here's
watch Studio 60.
so this is the last part. The last part that is just heavenly about Sports Night is the way Natalie walks. Oh my God, I could watch her walk around that studio all day.
Love Natalie.
I just really, really, and it's funny because what reminded me of Sports Night is the fact that
You're not talking to the microphone, but go ahead.
I thought I was like right here. I follow Josh Molina on
Yes, I do too.
on Twitter, and his avatar is the eggnog.
That is my favorite thing.
Just
I
the
just love that
eggnog all over his shirt.
Jeremy swallow it. I just can't.
Oh, I loved that show.
All of you must go find a way to watch
Yes,
Sports Night.
watch
It
Sports
should
Night.
still be on Netflix.
Here's
What 3 things would you tell the New York Knicks?
This is the worst post show ever, but I love you people. I love you people all so much.
I need to watch
Tell Spike Lee
Newsroom.
to sit down and shut up.
Yes, congratulations.
Oh, jeez. And Jay's like,
Jay's checked out
we've
completely.
lost everyone. But seriously, Sports Night is so wonderful. The thing about Sports Night though is that they experimented with a laugh track for a few episodes. It was just the fucking worst.
I think
ABC couldn't figure out what to do with that show.
Yeah.
Basically, they're like, we're gonna make it a comedy, so put a laugh track in, and we'll see how that works. And it was like, no.
It's kind of like how if they were to put a laugh track in West Wing, there was just nobody to do it.
If you find me on Google Plus, you have like mottos on Google Plus. My motto is draft day, baby.
Because I remember seeing that and being all like, wait a minute. Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, someone give us something real to talk about. This is like totally boring. I don't want to listen. Well, I'm totally into it. I love you guys.
No, you want to talk about it. You don't want to listen to it.
Well, hey, we talked about Wendy Davis earlier. We did not talk about Leticia Van de Putte.
I actually don't
Rebel
know that much about
1850,
her.
Rebel 1852 in the chat room says he likes the way Apollo walked on Battlestar Galactica. That's awesome. Starbuck was
But
way
he-
hotter on Battlestar Galactica. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That, I mean, like, Natalie versus Starbuck,
They're such different characters.
yes. Natalie is so much girlier. The other thing is that, like, now that I
Wait,
know...
is Starbuck Katie Sackhoff?
Yes. But now that I know that she's
Katie
like...
Sackhoff all the way, I'm sorry.
Katie Sackhoff, now that I know that she's a pseudoscience
Good point.
ridiculous person, I almost have to give it to Natalie for sure. I don't even remember what her name is.
Sabrina Lloyd.
Sabrina Lloyd.
There we
Yes, thank you.
go.
Because she was on Sliders, too.
Was she really? I don't remember that.
Yes, she was Wade on Sliders. And then she did several episodes of Ed. And so, like, for a while, I was
love
just
that
like, oh my
show.
god, she's on every show that I love. Yeah.
I love her.
I feel like I should find a way to get you in touch with her or something.
I know. We should, just like
She
if we
retired
could,
from acting, though. She moved to, like, Italy or
Really?
someplace. Yeah.
Why?
She had a blog for a while, and I don't know what happened to it, but... She got married
That's
and,
weird.
like, adopted a kid, and they moved to Italy or something.
Sabrina Lloyd.
I feel like we should all just spam pictures of Sabrina Lloyd on Christian's wall and in the
Yes,
Facebook
please.
group.
That would be so much better than the Ewoks from the last time people started spamming my wall. Please, Sabrina Lloyd. Everyone just find pictures of Sabrina Lloyd in skirts and black tights because that's what I remember her.
I mean,
no Ewoks.
Sabrina Lloyd was also kind of short, so you might be able to find a picture of her dressed as an Ewok.
No.
He's like, I have the most confused boner ever right now.
Oh my fucking god. I can't believe none of you motherfuckers are going to help us here. Okay, call us about that, Hecky, and tell us what your conversation was about. Jesus Christ.
She has a conversation about Jesus Christ?
I'm giving people
Actually,
2
yes.
minutes before I say fuck this and close.
Yeah,
the show.
I am too. Because seriously the worst post show we've ever had.
It's a good thing we don't, actually put these on the internet then.
I have all of them, and we're going to. That is coming very soon.
you say.
Now that I can move us to Google Plus,
Can you?
Yeah.
I think I can.
The little Ferris that could.
That's exactly what came to mind. I was like, I think I can. I think I can.
You can't even read the stories from week to week, bro. Don't even get an attitude with me.
Damn it.
All right.
Is that the 2 minutes?
It's close enough.
We're gonna call it.
Hecky sucks.
Bye, guys. Have fun. Don't die. Or do. I don't care. My fucks are gone.
If you're stupid enough, Jay wants you to die. That's
I
how
probably
there
want
is
you to
that.
die anyway.
I love you, people.
I
We'll see
don't.
you next Tuesday. And then a week from Tuesday is Peter Boghossian. Isn't it? Yes. Yes?
Sabrina Lloyd!
Sabrina Lloyd. Someone,
Yes.
please spam my wall with Sabrina Lloyd.
Ewoks.
See ya.